Happy New Year, everyone! And I can't think of a better way to ring in the new year than with new cards! And this time around, we have some that I am very much looking forward to. Ever since the pack art for Maze of Millennium, or as it's going to be called shortenedly, MISME, which is just a great little acronym, we're getting new Flame Swordsman cards! At least there was one on the pack, and honestly, I've been dying for this kind of thing. Flame Swordsman is like one of the iconic Joey monsters, right next to Red Eyes, I would say. That being said, they don't really do a lot with him. Like, he shows up in a couple of retrains. There was, like, Blue and the Link monster. It's part of Dark Flare Knight for all of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Filler fans out there. And it plays a prominent role in the new Fusion Armament spell card, at least in the art. Outside of that, we don't get to see a lot of Flame Swordsman stuff. It's a part of the anime canon that I feel there's a lot more room to dig into, especially now that Fire Warriors are such a big deal thanks to Infernoble and Vanquished Soul Razen. Now, what to expect here though, I don't know. Last time we had a DM era archetype get some retrain stuff in Maze of Millennium, no, this is Millennium, Maze of Memories, that was the Gate Guardian stuff, and that was jam-packed of anime references, while still having monsters that were true to the original interpretation of those monsters. Here, though, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to draw from. My first thought was things like, oh, they'll make a Rocket Warrior or a Panther Warrior type retrain, but we actually already have a precedent for that being folded into Red Eyes with the Red Eyes Gearfried monster, so I actually think those are going to be reserved for Red Eyes support. I'm not sure what Flame Swordsman is going to entail, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. Let's go ahead and check out Fighting Flame Swordsman, and that's just Joey in that art, right? That's just Joey. Okay, I'm not getting a good close-up on that one, but that's fine. Level 4, Fire, Warrior, Effect Monster, 1800 attack, 1600 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a spell or trap card that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except a copy of this card. Okay. So this is nothing new on its own, but if we're going to add support for old stuff, it better have all the good fixins. It has a search capability, and it has a foolish capability when it's sent to graveyard or searched, but not respectively. I flip those around because I'm a very good orator. I know what I'm talking about. The question is, what cards does this add? I'm not sure there are any cards that mention Flame Swordsman, insofar as spells and traps go, but hopefully they'll be adding those. And when it comes to sending, similar stuff. It sends from the extra deck as well, so I believe this means you can send Dark Flare Knight, but we'll see if that, if that matters for much. Next up we have Fighting Flame Dragon, level 5 Fire Dragon Fusion Monster, 1700 attack, 1600 defense. Oh my god, this image quality is not helping here, but I have to assume this has something to do with the iconic equip spell Salamandra. It requires a dragon monster and a fire warrior monster as material. Except during the damage step, as a quick effect, you can target a warrior fusion monster that you control and equip this card from your field or grave to that monster you control as an equip spell. You can only use this effect of Fighting Flame Dragon once per turn. While this card is equipped to Flame Swordsman, or your monster that mentions it, the equipped monster gains 700 attack and can make a second attack during each battle phase. Okay, so there's that 700 attack that Salamandra also has, and it does mention Flame Swordsman, so we can use Fighting Flame Swordsman to send this directly to the graveyard and then just equip it. Summoning this does not seem to be a priority, though this does give us another Super Poly target. Dragon plus a Fire Warrior is honestly pretty funny because we could play this in Branded as a Super Poly target to hit things like Razen or General Infernoble. So as an Albaz enthusiast myself, I'm very happy to see this card. What I'm not happy to see is that is everything so far. That's disappointing. I was hoping we get the whole kit and caboodle. We're like right next door to the release date on this stuff, right? Like, it's the end of January? I forget. So that's gonna be difficult to really surmise what in the world this is gonna be used for. One second, we're opening up Yu-Gi-Oh card database here. We're gonna look at some stuff. Because I think it's safe to assume that Fighting Flame Swordsman is going to have targets to search once we get a full release here. But I'm going to double check to see if there's anything that I'm missing randomly. Okay, so card text. Yeah. As far as card text go, these are the only 4 that mention Flame Swordsman in its card text. And none of them are spells and traps. So we don't know what Fighting Flame Swordsman is going to get us. And Fighting Flame Dragon is pretty funky. I also like the fact that I completely skipped over this. Fighting Flame Dragon gives you a double attack, but it is not one that requires you to only do it on monsters. So this is potentially a buttload of damage. It also works on Warrior Fusion monsters in general. I'm not sure where that's gonna, if that's going to help us much. I guess it does equip to Dark Flare Knight if that becomes something that we are allowed to work with, if they incorporate that in there somehow. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to lean back into anime references. Dark Flare Knight, like I said, is pretty big. And, oh my god, that could also mean we get Mirage Knight. There's no way it actually lends into Mirage Knight stuff, though. I'm calling that right now. There's no way. Aside from that, though, I really don't know what else we've got. I mean, Ferocious Flame Swordsman is one thing, but that's been around for a while, and that really hasn't done much. Maybe it might do more once we have a more focused archetype around it, but... Okay, so initial impressions here. We have a cool equip card, and honestly, of course, it makes sense that it would be a fusion monster that does equip stuff. I'm honestly surprised that there wasn't a, what is it, Hermos? Some kind of Claw of Hermos requirement on here. But it's a good start, with Joey Wheeler as the iconic Flame Swordsman and a new equipped fusion monster. How could we possibly lose? There's going to be at least 3 others because this one is noted as EN001. This one is EN005, so we can expect at least 3 more cards. Hopefully we get more, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited. Not that we know exactly what they're going to be doing at this point, but we know that they already have some pretty good infrastructure to start out with. But that's all I got on the subject. What do you have to say about it? Is there any Flame Swordsman stuff you're looking forward to? Any references that you hope they make? Maybe some iconic manga panels that they are going to put into high resolution, kind of like the old Gate Guardian cards did with like Gate Guardian Attack, Thunder and Wind, the one where we got them going, ooh. I'm very happy when things go. Alright, thank you all so much, and I'll catch you next time new cards are revealed. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by my lovely patrons, as well as the wonderful people over at Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using coupon code GoldenNova at checkout. Today's episode was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders Frankie and Marluxia is a Girl, Nebula Navigators 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Andrew Newman, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Dark Dragon X830, Emily Chan, Eric, Aaron the World Breaker, Garland Chaos, Genesis Yu-Gi-Oh!, Green Knight, Great Big Pillock, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Howling Zangetsu, Hydracraft 135, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Mana Charge, Marion James E. Picata, Mega Combi, Millennia Asta, Muzuki Clark, Nathan Vig, Natiel Lee Alexander, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sammy Haim, Serenity Towns, Sir Knight JCB, Sim Antares, The Wizard Moose, URTV 667 and Xander Wolfensberger, Cosmic Crusaders Alpha Sly, Almento 5010, A Random Pup, Ariel Kersey, Beluga Masta, Blitzwolf, Blue Gem, Borger with a Shotgun, Chaz Ghost, Corbinisms, Danny Bound, Dr. Reaper RIP, Drachenwald, Eki Bullock, Eva Padilla, Hike Boyagian, Herbal D, Inblink, Jester Designs, Kale the Dragon, Carp, Kevon Public, King Scarlet Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lemon Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lord Whoop-De-Doo, Manga Pages, Matt Simmons, Mick Spoofy, Michael Shimabukuro, Mustafa Aiden, Nitromo, Shizuki Nijimura, Sophie, apparently, Stephen Williamson, Taylor Seymour, the legendary Raven, and Zeldreka, as well as the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits, and many other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you checked out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.